So basically, Nanotech Revolution is about, to clarify, Nanotech Revolution using science and technology to free Africa from subjugation. What that's about is a lot of people, when they think of nations having the ability to defend themselves, they mainly think about nuclear proliferation, things of that nature. And in the past, that's what it's meant ever since World War II. But now, with technology on the rise, now you have, people right out of their garage that these geniuses that come up with their inventions right out of their garage or whatever, or right in their backyard, that now they rivaling governments. You have like Google. Google, they started out small. Facebook has arguably gained power now, that the powers that be that run the whole shebang, now they have to deal with them. You have all of these different scientists and engineers that with little to no money, they are coming up with innovation that, if properly fine-tuned, can be something to contend with. So Nanotech Revolution is specific. It's talking about nanotechnology in particular, but science and technology in general, particularly science and technology dealing with nanotechnology, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and advanced robotics, and how if we act now and start training the young generation that's coming up now, not only in Africa but in the diaspora, we start training them now and getting them heavily involved in some of these areas of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We get them, and not for the purpose of, oh yeah, I'm learning this stuff so I can go and work for Google. Or I'm learning this stuff so I can go and work for Facebook or work for Apple or whatever. But imagine them learning these advanced forms of technology and science. Your heavy physics, your aerospace technology, advanced robotics, nanotechnology, machine learning, and computer programming, and artificial intelligence. Imagine them learning that for the purpose of defending their nation, defending Africa, defending their continent. So I'll give you an example with nanotechnology. Reason why I use that, because here's technology that is really under the radar. If you go and try to get some type of heavy weaponry or whatever, if you're a nation, they can see that from a satellite and they'll just shut you down. And it's actually illegal. But when you're talking about science and technology, it's not illegal to learn. It can be, but as long as they're saying it's not illegal, that's what we need to concentrate on. That's what we need to start teaching our children, teaching our youth. They need to be learning about nanotechnology and artificial intelligence and robotics. They need to be learning about that in grammar school. They need to be learning about that in kindergarten and preschool. All throughout their lives, they need to be learning about that, because that is, according to my book, that will be the way that I believe Africa can defend itself from these bully nations, I should say, that just come into Africa and give Africa 99-year leases, or should I say African nations allowing them to have a 99-year lease on their land, and they sucking up the natural resources and depleting, just depleting the resources. And we're not just talking about gold. We're talking about oil. We're talking about cobalt. We're talking about uranium. We're talking about just a host of different resources that are in Africa and in the diaspora. So when I say Africa, I'm also including Latin American countries. That's part of the African diaspora. You're talking about Belize. You're talking about, really, if you want to be technical, you're talking about Mexico. You're talking about the Dominican Republic, Haiti. You're talking about Jamaica. All of these different places. So we have to begin to start putting together a comprehensive education program that is geared towards a combination of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and having a political consciousness, understanding that Africa is your motherland, and Africa is something that has to be defended. And we're not going to be able to do that by nuclear proliferation. That's not, we might as well just take that off the table. But we can defend ourselves. And through things like advanced robotics, having the ability to build robotics for the purpose of defense, to defend our African continents, because we're talking about a whole continent, multiple nations. Nanotechnology, potentially nanotechnology has the potential to one day be able to disarm a nuclear material and make nuclear material completely useless, because of the fact that nanomaterial, or in this case, a nanobot, is smaller than an atom. In fact, there are universities right now, they are using nanotechnology or nanobots to push atoms around, okay? So if, in theory, if nanotechnology is smaller than an atom, this means that it has the potential to be able to go to rearrange the molecular structure of nuclear material and render it useless. It has the potential to rearrange the molecular structure, completely change the molecular structure of any kind of devices that are meant to harm us, and render it useless. So that's the area that I believe, one of the areas that we need to concentrate on, as well as machine learning and artificial intelligence and advanced robotics. So that's what this new book that will be coming out in 2020, sometime mid-2020. I got a lot of other things that I'm dealing with that, I still have 2 books that are coming out before that. But nanotechnology, the nanotechnology or Nanotech Revolution, that the subtitle being Using Science and Technology to Free Africa from Subjugation, that book will be out 2020. And as for the other books, specifically talking about artificial intelligence, robotics, and beyond, that book that's actually the second book that will be out right after Techno Victims, and that's the negative impact of robotics, nanotechnology, and artificial intelligence on Black and brown people. That book will be the first one that will be out, so look for that. And I got the only other thing that I'm dealing with, I'm dealing with some of the injustices here that I face here in Chicago, being in Illinois, some of the adversity I'm dealing with. A lot of people say I should have left a long time ago. I tend to wonder if I agree with them now, you know. But, and I will be doing a video about that, talking about some of the injustices that I'm going through right now, where they're trying to paint me out to be something I'm not. So, meantime, what can I say? Look out for the books. Oh, I'm here at DePaul University. Actually, I'm waiting for my chief mathematician, who my chief mathematician is a professor here at DePaul University. I'm not gonna put him on blast unless he tells me to. So, my chief mathematician is for Uganda Robotics, is a professor here at Chicago. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh man, that's blasphemy. At DePaul University. So be checking out for those books. Nanotech Revolution, Using Science and Technology to Free Africa from Subjugation. That book will be out in 2020, mid 2020.